Right, so for these supine hip external rotation and abductions, you're going to set up lying on the floor with your feet flat on the floor and your knees bent. You're going to relatively make sure that your knees are in line with your hips and that your feet are in line. So we've got nice straight lines down here. And then I'm going to put my hands on my pelvis. In terms of the position of our pelvis, I want you to find a relatively neutral position. So I haven't got this big arch and an anterior tilt, and I haven't got my back flat against the floor in this posterior tilt. It's relatively in the middle, which means you'll probably feel like you could, I can get a couple of fingers underneath my back right now, but it's not this huge arch where I can get my whole hand under, and it's certainly not compressed down into the floor where I can't get my fingers under at all, okay? So nice neutral spine. Now, the purpose of your fingers on the front of your pelvis is, once you've got that neutral spine and that neutral pelvis position, that is not going to change a millimeter. So I want you to feel these bony bits on the front of your hip. Your fingers are constantly going to be watching that these don't move, because in this exercise, which we're going to go through now, I'm going to start letting my knees drop out to the side in a really slow and smooth way until you feel like you reach your end range, and then you're going to pull your knees back in, okay? So our femurs are externally rotating and abducting in the hip sockets, and then they're coming back up. Now, if you have a restricted range of motion, what you might start to do is that as these knees fall out to the side, in order to get more range of motion, watch my fingers here, I'm going to tilt my pelvis forwards, and now I can get my legs wider. But I haven't actually moved my femurs anymore in the hip sockets. I've just changed the position of my hip sockets. So it gives the illusion of giving me more range of motion, but that's not what we're looking for, okay? So neutral spine, hands on the pelvis to make sure that that doesn't change even a millimeter, and then we're just letting these knees drop out as far as you feel comfortable and then coming back in.